guys, I'm Konstantin, welcome to the channel. That was my entry for the new Bogren contest. I hope you enjoyed it, and now I would like to make a small walkthrough on what I did to make that little demo sound like this, just to show how good they sound even if you have no clue at all, even if you have no experience. Now the first plugin on my mix bus, I will start from the mix bus. It's a gain plugin that increases or decreases my signal depending on how loud my individual tracks are. Next plugin on the chain is TDR Nova. This is a dynamic EQ. It's like poor man's soothe. Tames some frequencies that can be a little bit unpleasant to the ear, but it's dynamic EQ, it's not always there, it reacts to the signal, to the mix. Next plugin on my chain is an EQ, adjusts to a general shaping of the whole mix, and a little bit mono making and stereo widening. After that it goes to a Pultec EQ, this is a free one. Great sound EQ, it just boosts a little bit of subs and a little bit of highs. It makes the whole mix a little bit wider. And from there it goes to the mix bus compression. These are my settings. Sidechain on 60 Hz. This is my saturation plugin. It makes the whole mix out a little bit more 3D. Some multiband compression just to keep things a little bit more even. And after that I have a combination of a clipper and a limiter. These last two plugins are my loudness plugins. Now the mix on the rhythm guitars, I have some EQ, a little bit of low hi-cut, low shelf on the lower mids, some frequencies, cutting out. Then this API to shape the tone a little bit, and I also use the gain preamp for coloring. From there, multiband compression. This is a very classic trick to tame the lows, especially on the palm mutes, but I also tame the frequencies between 2K and 5K a little bit because they can be a little harsh on the ears sometimes if they are out of control. And the last plugin on my chain is this compression. I do some parallel compression to bring the attack a little bit more on the guitars, but I blended it like 20%. But the main thing I like about this is the saturation section right there. It makes the guitars sound much more richer and fuller. Now on the lead guitars, same game. I use the same compression with the same settings. As you see, a little bit of stereo widening also. And from there I go to the channel strip where I shape the tone a little bit. Now on drums, the only thing I did was a little bit of limiting, but I used the punchy preset. I thought it made the drums a little bit punchier. And I also used the sync function on the release. On the plugin itself, I used the cream drums, of course. The only thing I did was adjusting the preset a little bit more drive, and I made the tone a little bit darker because the cymbals were a little bit too harsh for my mix. On the bass, I use from Solemn Tones, Mayo Bass. On the clean DI setting, it goes to BASSKNOB, the STD. I used this one because it was a better match on the mix. It goes to the channel strip where I did a little bit of shaping. I didn't use a low cut, I used a low shelf. All these plugins are pre-mixed. You don't have to do drastic moves to make them sound good and fit in the mix. From there I use double tap. This is like a multiband compression. It makes the lows and the highs more even. I also use the saturation on this plugin. And from there it goes to a limiter. The amps I used for the rhythm guitars was of course TRIVIUM rhythm, but I used an IR from the down-tuned IR pack, the Doom sauce. And for the other guitar I used the MLC Sub-Zero, also with an IR from the down-tuned pack. These are my settings. I used the Gonohira, this is one of my favorites. On lead guitars I used the lead knob from TRIVIUM pack. For the first lead on the intro, I just left it as it is, nothing changed, much cab. But for the outro lead, tweaked the settings a little bit, and I also used the IR from the lead pack from Bogren. And that's it. That was all I did on the guitars. Now let me show you how the mix would sound like if you don't do anything at all, just the basic mix, volume balance, a little bit of panning, mix pass compression, a limiter, and that's it. Sounds totally fine. You definitely going to have a solid sound for your videos, for your ideas, for your demos. Now I'm going to play the amps, the rhythm amps, back to back to see the differences between them, and maybe it will make the choice easier for you on which one to buy, or maybe buy them all if you like them all. And that was for today's video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed what you see, please consider to like and subscribe. Until the next time, take care. Bye bye.